Hello friends, Cowboy Jobu here with the Jobu Sports Report, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report, because without you guys, this would be nothing. Now, you guys know we'll be live streaming tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern, so be sure to tune in so that way you can be part of the conversation. Now, you guys know I have accused First Take of stealing my material before. Yeah, Max Ketterman basically used my How to Fix Thursday Night Football word for word, but anyway, I think I need to call my attorneys because I'm sitting here watching First Take today, and here, lo and behold, as Tony Romo turns. Dudes, really? Really? Because here's my video from Saturday. Roll 'em. Looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? Anyway, let's see what they have to say about Tony Romo. I wonder if they have my same lines. Roll the tape.
Here we go, folks. Another day and another plan for Tony Romo's future. The latest, according to our Adam Schefter, is that the Cowboys are not expected to find a trade partner for Romo. Possible interested teams in him appear unwilling to take on the 37-year-old's contract or overpay for a quarterback who has started 4 games over the past 2 seasons because of injury, sources telling Schefter. Now, teams interested in Romo believe the Cowboys will eventually release him and are willing to wait until then to go after him. On that note, we welcome in our friend Will Kane to the desk. How are we doing, Will?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good to see you. I want to start with you on this one because it's really your specialty.
Romo expert, if you will.
Right. What's going on with your boy?
I think I'm going to give you 2 scenarios.
Okay.
It's one of these 2 things going on. Number one, the interest in Tony Romo, particularly coming from Denver, is not high. That's scenario number 1. Reports suggest John Elway's just not that into Romo.
Okay.
There are even reports coming out that Houston's not that into Romo, that if he were free agent and his demands are high, they're not in.
Okay.
Now, if that is true, I would suggest both are guilty of unforgivable hubris. You need a quarterback like Romo to win the Super Bowl. Neither team has one. Neither Paxton Lynch nor Trevor Siemian is going to win the Super Bowl for the Denver Broncos. The odds of those guys being Ben Roethlisberger or Dan Marino in their second year are infinitesimally low. Same thing with Tom Savage in Houston. So, guilty of incredible hubris or lying, because that's option number 2. That they actually are interested in Romo, and there's a thing going on, and you're probably going to get on to me about this, but in game theory called the prisoner's dilemma, right? It's essentially this. If 2 guys were arrested and taken to jail and put into separate interrogation rooms, the cops would try to get both of them to roll on the other, when in fact, their best interest would be for neither of them to talk. The best interest of both the Broncos and the Texans is to get Tony Romo as a free agent, not in a trade. So what do they want to do? Act like they're not interested. They could be playing this game when in fact they actually have an interest in Romo and trying to get the Cowboys to simply release him. I don't know which one is true. Are they truly not interested, or are they playing this game?
Before Max speaks, I just want to ask a somewhat rhetorical question. Is that your way of conceding, Will Kane, that what I suggested last week is happening, that they're calling the Dallas Cowboys bluff?
It's not.
You sure?
No.
Just
sure?
one scenario he proposes.
sure?
I mean,
It sounds like it is.
I know it's hard for you.
Smile like you think you got
I know
me.
it's hard for you to acknowledge that,
No,
but go
no,
ahead.
just-
sure?
Here's why. Here's why
Go ahead.
I am not conceding defeat to you, all
Sure.
right? Because Jerry, quit smiling at me because it makes me smile.
Just look at me.
Jerry Jones starts and finishes at status quo. The full intention of the Dallas Cowboys was to release Romo. Trade value is gravy. Trade value is icing. If it doesn't work out, he ends up where he started. I still maintain the loser in this game of bluff is the team that doesn't end up with Romo, because that team is the one that has conceded their Super Bowl hopes.
Look, let me offer 2 competing theories. One is that the bidding war never materialized, because you offered 2 theories as to why. But the fact is, the bidding war never materialized, right? And so they're looking to do either to see if it does, and then maybe really whatever. And here's another theory: maybe they listened to me and realized that the best place for Tony Romo, injury-prone and old but still excellent when he's on the field, Tony Romo, is as the backup quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the reason that the bidding war, because I hear what you're saying, Will, in terms of prisoner's dilemma, but if he was worth a 5th-round pick or something like that, they'd already offered it. The reason they're hesitant to build their season around him, if you're Houston, is he can't stay healthy. How do you rely on that? And if you're Denver, you got to the Super Bowl with Brock Osweiler. I mean, you know, like, just showed a couple seasons ago that they can win a Super Bowl with a veteran but really ineffective in terms of throwing the ball, Peyton Manning, and otherwise Brock Osweiler. So maybe they can do it again with Paxton Lynch or whomever. Houston maybe doesn't trust the health. The point is, as I will repeat, as I've been saying all along, the Dallas Cowboys line item, quarterback, when they drafted Dak Prescott, we're spending X number of dollars. Romo's the starter, Dak's the backup, we're straight. Guess what? The future, it turns out, is now. So Dak is the quarterback, and Romo can be the backup. Same line item, they're straight. That is the best place for Tony Romo.
Or the
backup quarterback,
booth.
Dallas Cowboys.
Tony Romo has 3 years left on his deal. Tony Romo is going to cost an exorbitant amount of dollars. The Dallas Cowboys are not going to keep him as a backup. They're going to let him go if they can't trade him. Now let's get back to you and your little dribble and stuff that you were throwing out there. See, here's the reality of the situation. Tony Romo, the injury-prone Tony Romo, from the pinky to the collarbone to the shoulder to the back to the knee, whatever the case may be, spine, all that stuff. No matter what way you slice it, at 36 years of age, you realize that Tony Romo really hasn't played in 2 years. Played 4 games a couple of years ago. Played 1 game last year.
Fresh.
I said fresh. Not rusty. Not rusty. And you know, not only that, old and rusty. No. You know, let's not forget that. Now we sit up here and we think about Houston and we think about Denver, the 2 prime targets that everybody says is the prime target. Me personally, I think Kansas City should try to get into the mix because I think Alex Smith is what he is, and you should roll the dice, take a chance, because you have the experience of an Andy Reid buffered by a damn good defense. All right, with enough weapons on the offensive side of the ball where Tony Romo, if he has anything left, can really come up in there and do some things for you because you really know what Alex Smith is and what he is not. And we've already reached that conclusion. But here's the thing that none of you have brought up about Tony Romo that I'm going to bring up about Tony Romo. Did it ever occur to anybody that the Dallas Cowboys know they probably won't be able to get rid of him? That they probably know they're going to have to just let him go? Did it ever occur to y'all that just maybe, dare I say, Jerry Jones is holding on for dear life because that just generates more news and interest for the Dallas Cowboys, allows them to steal a few more headlines as the days go on. Because if you say Tony Romo, you say Cowboys. If you say Cowboys, they're in the news. It feeds the brand per se, which is what they care about because they damn sure ain't winning. Because we know this to be the case because of their ineptitude in the postseason over the last 20 years.
Or if Denver is not interested, and we hear that Kansas City's not, and this could all be poker, of course, maybe Jerry Jones simply doesn't want him going in-state to a team that has tried to make inroads on the Cowboys fan base, has largely been unable to, has everything but a quarterback, and if they get Romo and he happens to be healthy for a playoff run, the Houston Texans could win a Super Bowl and that would kill Jerry Jones?
Look, to bolster my argument that Jerry's playing with house money, let me ask you a very simple question. What do you think happens to Romo's value from this point forward? Does it go up or does it go down? The Cowboys hold on to him. What happens to his value?
What you mean what happens to it?
Does his trade capability go up or go down over the coming months?
I don't think it does either. I think it stays
goes
still.
up,
I don't
clearly.
think
Maybe marginally.
I disagree.
I disagree. First of all, I think you're right about the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's a third option that should be considering Tony Romo. Anybody, hold on.
I'm proud of you. You see, you said I'm right again. Keep going. Keep going.
You buttered me up on Friday.
You're learning.
You buttered me up on Friday, conceding to me so many times. Any team with real Super Bowl aspirations needs to be looking at Tony Romo. And what we can find over the next several months is you can see a Sam Bradford type situation, a Teddy Bridgewater type situation. Quarterback needs will go up for teams that want to win a Super Bowl. Rookie quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls. Second-year quarterbacks, like in Denver, rarely go to
the league
Super Bowls.
doesn't believe the guy's going to stay healthy. That's why he doesn't. Obviously, he's excellent. So the fact that even there's a prisoner's dilemma right now is simply a reflection of the fact that the league correctly doesn't believe he'll stay healthy. His value will always be limited by that. I've been trying to tell you that all season.
Well, that's true. No one here has argued that he's worth a first-round draft pick.
Right.
But our argument whether or not the Cowboys can extract some value from him. What I would tell you is the longer they hold him, the more value they can get out of him. Will they do that? I don't think so, because I think Jerry has an emotional connection to Tony and will end up letting him go so that he can choose.
Last quick question. Let me read something to y'all. They say he's scheduled to count about $24.7 million against the 2017 cap. It includes his base salary of $14 million, which would be traded away, and his prorated sign and restructure bonuses that count for another $10.7 million. That would still stay with the Cowboys, even in the event that they traded him, okay? So I'm asking you this, considering that fact, do you still believe that his value actually elevates?
I think as need increases, supply's value increases. So
right,
as
supply and
need
demand.
increases,
The
Well, the need is
Tampa
during the season, not during the off season.
That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works.
Tampa Bay was willing to give Mike
In the
Glennon
season, right?
$8 million a year.
Yep.
If you can afford Romo and you're the Cowboys, I suggest paying it, but we'll see.
Gotta leave it there.